In this video, we are going to talk about the scale of comparison. So basically, the scale of comparison here actually refers to the idea of looking for similarity and difference. Okay, so similarity and difference. So in a nutshell, we are actually looking at how we can compare two sources and how we can contrast two sources. Compare here being what is similar about the two sources. Contrast here means what is different. So basically, when we talk about the idea of comparison, that means the similarity, we are essentially looking at the same things. Okay? The same things said by both sources. Okay, what is basically the same topic, the same inferences they are talking about here? Now, in terms of contrast, we are basically looking at the different inferences based on a similar topic. Alright, so here, contrast here, I'm looking at different inferences, but when I'm contrasting something, I cannot contrast things that are very, very distinctly different. It must be difference within a similar topic, within a similar scope in that sense there. So let's take a look at an example, and I will be able to help you break things down the same way. Alright, so let's take a look here. For source A, we look at this sport called tennis. Alright, and this idea that it is the best way to boost your health, right? So when you're on the court, you get a full body workout, right? Running, jumping, okay, and quick changes in direction. Cardiovascular health, lungs and hearts will get stronger. Alright, works the muscles here, shoulders and the back, build strength and endurance, right? And suddenly here it tells you about the idea of sports, how sports can greatly change lives. Okay, essentially telling you that sports is very advantageous. Okay, sports is very beneficial. Sports basically will actually do good for a person's health. Basically what it's saying here. And if we take a look at source B immediately, right, you see the same thing here. That sports has many benefits, correct? So we roughly can already tell what our similarity is here. And we look at this other thing called a squash. Okay, incredible cardiovascular workout, more intense than running. Alright, build strength as well as power in your legs and core. Okay, best way, see again, best way to burn a lot of calories, best way to benefit your overall health. So you see here, right? Now we can see, let's start with similarity first. I will use the right side of the screen for similarity. If we take a look at this source and we take a look at this source, what are these two sources essentially telling us about? You talk so much, there's so much praise about, sports and stuff. So in this case here, we are looking at, you look at source A, it's actually saying that sports, okay, benefits, okay, the health of individuals, right? Okay, now if we look here again, it tells you that there are benefits, and the entire source actually describes also everything about health. So we can also say for sports B, source B, that sports also benefits the health of individuals. So basically, when you can see now, there is that link there already. They are saying the same thing. So source A and source B are similar. Okay, they're similar in terms of sports benefiting the health of individuals. Then what exactly is the difference here? First of all, right, you must see that, yeah, of course, we talk about the idea of tennis and squash. Very clearly, we are talking about tennis and squash. And not only that, what then are we talking about is very clear, right? Because we're talking about the best way, right? They're talking about the best way. This is what I mean by the common topic that we are looking at. The common topic is, now there's, of course, both sources agree that sports benefit the health of individuals. But which is the best way to achieve these health benefits Okay, one says that it is tennis, whereas the other says it is squash. So that is the difference here, where one says that tennis is the best way, but the other says that squash is the best way. So if you look at this very clearly right now, I can make a difference, but I can actually draw out a difference. But my difference must be about something that is similar about these two topics. The difference is about a similar topic or a similar issue, which we can see here is the idea of a best way. Okay? So this is how we identify similarities and differences. This is similarity and difference based on content. Of course, there are the ways that you can find differences as well. For example, by the purpose of a source, by the perspective of the source as well. However, this is the most basic way to find the difference. Alright?